Hey guys, my name is Henry too, and I'm a wedding and elopement photographer based out of Seattle, Washington. As we know right now, COVID-19 or the coronavirus is taking over the world and is actually an unfortunate situation for a lot of people, and especially for us small businesses, wedding photographers, videographers. So I'm just trying to put out information that I know of. Hopefully some of this stuff you can learn from. So today I'm going to share with you 5 things that you can do with your Pinterest right now. So today I'm going to share with you 5 things that you can do with your Pinterest to get clients. About in 2018, about 2 years ago, 95% of all of the clients I booked were from Instagram. The end of 2018, starting the beginning of 2019, I was just sitting at home, when over the holidays, when you have time and sit down and just think about your life and your business. And that was when I told myself, what if Instagram goes down? What if Instagram changes its algorithm? And they do. They change the stuff all the time. So how am I going to still get clients? So I spent a lot of time looking into Pinterest and SEO, just so that I can lay my eggs in different baskets and not just one place where if something crash and burn, then that's my entire business. So as of today in 2020, the past 6 or 7 months, almost 90% of everything I book now are from Pinterest and SEO, Google search, and the 10% would be word of mouth, vendor recommendation, or Instagram. With that being said, I'm so excited to show you guys the thing about Pinterest, because as you know already, and I'm not sure if you can see how you're gonna see this because I'm wearing basketball shorts sitting at my house, so if you see my skin, please forgive me. So about the thing about Pinterest is that, personal story, I went to nursing school. I was a nurse before I became a photographer. In nursing school, I always sat in the back, and all of my classmates in front of me, all girls, right, because nursing school, and they were all over Pinterest planning their wedding, which is really funny because as you can see, people plan their wedding on Pinterest before they even get into a relationship. Like, they already pin around, they saw fun stuff, and I think us as wedding photographers, we have a lot of content that we can put out on Pinterest. A little background on Pinterest too, when you post something onto Pinterest, unlike Instagram, the longer the photo stays on Pinterest, the easier it gets for people to search for something and see your photo. As you can tell, when you're on Instagram, you post a photo, you get like that many likes or that many comments or whatever the interaction and the engagement you get on an Instagram post, and then 2 days later everything's dead. Like, nobody's talking about that photo anymore, and you're like, fuck, that's a good photo. Wait, can I say fuck on YouTube? Whatever. But on Pinterest, if you post a photo today, you might not see any interaction from it, or anything from it, and then a day goes by, you see like, 4 people repin you, and then a week goes by, a month goes by. The longer it is, the easier, the higher the chance that those photos just recirculate around. So when people search for a certain term, like for example, people search for elope in Washington or elope in the Pacific Northwest, and if your pin is about that, it will recirculate and they will see it as well. So tip number 1 that I have for you guys right now is to work on your Pinterest profile. on Pinterest, when you first started out, your profile is a personal profile. You can change it into business. When you change it into business, the benefits are, first, you see all kind of analytics. You see how good that one pin or photo does. You can see how many people repin, the best time that to post, next time you want to post it. You can see traffic from the pin go to your website. There's just a lot more information that when you become a business profile, and it's super easy. I can show you how to do that on Pinterest. When you change to your business profile, you can also add your website. The minute you add your website, www.sunshinephotography or whatever your domain name is .com, when people repin stuff from your website onto Pinterest, Pinterest can read that information and let you know about that information as well. A little trick about the name on Pinterest too is just like Instagram, if you guys have seen my my other YouTube video on tips and tricks on how to do promote your business on Instagram, on Pinterest, I would recommend adding names more than just your name. So for example, under the name line, I put my name, Henry2. I also put Washington and destination wedding and elopement photographer. The reason why I put those key terms or keywords right there is that someone somewhere is going to go on Pinterest and they might search for Washington wedding photographer. Already there, my name would show. Or they might search destination wedding photographer or elopement wedding photographer, destination elopement photographer. So it's a combination of different things that people can search, and people would see my name right away. Second tip that I have for Pinterest would be creating boards. Creating all these boards, the way that you do that is you want to think of names that people want to search when they go on Pinterest. Let's say someone want to search for some sort of recipes, right? So then your how you want to name that would be best recipes for wedding food, or like the top 20 recipes for Thanksgiving dinner. Same thing would apply for wedding photography. What you can do too is make it best places to get married in Seattle, and change Seattle to wherever you're from. If you are around a certain national parks, you can say Yosemite National Park elopement inspirations, and within that one board you can just do all kind of Yosemite wedding photos. So that's how I would name Pinterest boards. And don't worry if you cannot think of how to name things now. They would come to you. Eventually, after you pin for a while, you'll see that, oh, this one pin that I pinned to engagement photo inspiration, I love the outfit. It's very fall. You can pin that same photo to another one and name it fall. Fall outfits engagement photos inspiration. I mean, I'm on the spot now, so I can think of like the best names. Feel free to go to my Pinterest to look at how I name things. Other places you can learn too would be Junebug Wedding has a beautiful, gorgeous Pinterest account. Looks like film. All those wedding blogs and wedding magazines, they are so good at naming things that when you go on there and look at their whole Pinterest, you can learn a thing or two. Tip number 3 would be about the pins. First thing first, personal rule of thumb, you want to make everything cohesive and consistent. Therefore, if your business Pinterest is all about wedding photography, I would not pin things about recipes, right? If you're in the wedding business, what you can pin about would be photo of the couple, photos of details, photos of the venues, photos of outfits. There's so many things that you can pin about within the wedding industry. When you pin, you want to think of your potential clients sitting at home. What will they want to search for? When they go on Pinterest, they want to learn about a certain thing, right? Like if let's say they're preparing for their engagement photos, they want to look for outfit inspiration. They want to look for the location that they want to go. You want to pin for those places and topics. So therefore, if you don't do anything about baby photographies, I would not pin anything about baby photos in there. If you want to pin it just so that you can have it, make it private. Or create another personal Pinterest account and do all of your personal stuff somewhere else. Your business Pinterest should be all about your photos, your work, just like your Instagram account. If your Instagram account is all about posting photos of your clients, I would not post a workout routine that you just learn, right? And speaking about pins as well, I only pin photos that I took, whether it's from my website, whether I upload it to Pinterest, or Junebug feature me in a blog post. I saw that and I pin it from their website or repin them from their Pinterest. I would not go and repin a photo from a friend of mine. That's just confusing for clients. When clients go onto my Pinterest, I want them to see that everything that you see here is my work. And it's nothing personal about the friends. I like their stuff I still like their stuff. It just doesn't make any sense if I repin their stuff to my own personal board. The same topic about pin, there's a thing called rich pin. Basically what rich pin means is that you have the subject line and you have like a body. Subject, you want to put short and accurate detail about what this photo is about. For example, if I want to put the bride and the groom kissing in front of an A-frame cabin, I would say bride and groom just got married at an A-frame cabin. And then in the body of the pin, I could type in more information about what this is about. Maybe tell a little bit of story of the couple. Like let's say her name is Jane and his name is Joe. I could say Jane and Joe decided to have an adventure elopement in the Pacific Northwest and they found this blah blah. It's almost like an excerpt of a blog post so that when people see this photo, they get a sense of what this is about and make them excited to learn more about this photo. And then the last thing on this pin before I actually post it onto Instagram, Pinterest would be on the last part, which is your website. I would always 100% always put your website on the bottom. So when people repin, and after a while, when a new client go on Pinterest, see that photo, they click on it, they should be able to go to your website and learn more about you and learn more about this elopement or whatever session that you just shared about. Tip number 4, which is about your website. When somehow, somewhere, people know about your website, maybe because they found you on Instagram, maybe they found you because of Google search, whatever the reason is, they will go onto your website, they'll click around, go to your blog post, they started seeing all these beautiful photos that you shared about a certain wedding or engagement sessions. They should be able to just one click and pin these photos onto their Pinterest right away. If you are on Squarespace, like myself, my website is on Squarespace, also this is not sponsored, that you can, there's an option for you to enable it right away. I know that from what I've heard, Wix show it, and WordPress are pretty similar. If you don't know how to enable pin on your website, I would do a quick Google search and do that now. And last but not least, tip number 5, which is the most important thing, if you want people to pin your photos, those photos need to be good photos, need to be content that people want to learn more about, feel inspired, and actually catch their attention while they're scrolling on their phone, or they're on their computer or iPad or whatever. So with taking photos, there's really every artist is different. I don't want to comment on that, but things that you can do right now to make your pin stand out. First thing, vertical, I don't know, that looks like a square. Vertical photos would do way better on Pinterest, because when a lot of people now, even for SEO, Google search, all that, everybody's on their phone. So when they scroll, they see vertical photos way more than landscape. So if you have a photo that you can crop, I would 100% crop it before you post onto your Pinterest. If you have some landscape photos that's really beautiful and you don't want to crop it because it's actually really amazing, what I would do is put those 2 or 3 photos into one vertical photos. And I use the app called Unfold. So on the app Unfold, within your phone right away, you can do a quick 3 landscape photos into one, export it, save onto your camera roll, and then you can upload onto Pinterest. And another way that you can make your pin stand out really, really well is to post a GIF or GIF, however way you say it, an animation onto your Pinterest. When people search for a certain thing, let's say they just want to search for a Seattle wedding photographer, and they started scrolling and scrolling, and they keep seeing the same photos kind of over and over, because it's always couple kissing, or it's always something that very typical, traditional. So you need to stand out. If you've been photographing weddings that are traditional, and this, I'm not shaming, I'm not shitting on anyone, I'm just saying that we take photos all the time, and those photos are everywhere on the internet. If there's nothing special about it, people will just skip over. But when you put a GIF, animation, however you say it, then when people scroll, things started moving, it catches their attention right away. It will let them pause for a second and look more carefully at what this photo is about. It could be a typical venue that you've been photographing over and over and over again. Maybe wedding has minimal details, there's not much you can share, there's no flowers or tablescape or anything, but you can make a fun GIF of the couple running or kissing or having fun, put it together vertically, post it onto Pinterest, and that might help make your pin stand out a little bit more. There are resources out there on how to learn to do GIF. This is a plug, and a shameless plug. I actually just released a guide on how to make animation GIF, and if you are interested, I will leave it in the description box below. It's worth taking a look at. If you don't know much about what I do, please visit my Instagram. There you can see a lot of GIF animation that I do. So yeah, that's basically it. I think Pinterest is huge. It has a lot of potential. if you are doing well on Instagram, that's great. But I also would encourage you to look at another way so that you can get clients from multiple sources instead of just one place. I really hope that you guys enjoy this video. Hope you learned something. If you have any other tips and tricks, please share with me. I always want to learn. If you found that this video is helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment below, and please share it with your friends, your photographer friends, your small business friends, so they can learn a thing or two or do things for their business while we are going through this crazy, horrible coronavirus situation. I hope you guys are staying safe. Please wash your hands often. Stay healthy, and talk to you soon.